Very recently, not 6 months ago, I went camping last minute with a few friends in the northern Minnesota National Park area. The trip was fairly normal and uneventful. I personally love the forest and nature. However, I'm quite scared and tad superstitious. During the walk back, I was extremely fatigued and sore, so I was lagging behind at the trail end of our group. After a few hours, we reached a section of dense vegetation and mud, and I eventually lost view of the person in front of me. Now keep in mind, this wasn't too bad. I could hear them decently well, and it was only around 10 a.m. After about 20 minutes, however, they were still out of sight and I could only hear them on and off. In fact, I was slowly beginning to think I was mixing up their sounds with my own. I yelled out for them to slow down a second, and received a muffled response that I could tell was quite far from me. I called out again, and no response. I panicked a bit and began to hustle. My senses were on full alert, and I was constantly peering around the green, looking deep and quickly for any sight in my friends. I also had a strange feeling of loneliness and like something was near me, like an animal or something. I chalked it up to being paranoid and scared and focused on staying on the path and catching up with my friends. Despite the previous attempts of yelling at them, I was pretty sure they weren't too far off. They couldn't be. I was moving at a decent pace after all, and what's more, the path was pretty well defined, and I had a good memory on which to head despite having a few miles to go. A few moments later, I realized that all I could hear was the sound of my feet in the ground. The birds and the wind I swore I heard not minutes before had suddenly ceased. This stressed me out even more, and I actually pulled out a small hunting knife that was my only weapon, as if it was to protect me from anything. I kept hustling, but no matter what I could do, the paranoia and fear was getting worse. My heart was flipping out, and I was tired as hell. Legs weak and heavy. I'm beginning to think I was completely lost and screwed. Fast forward another gruesome 30 minutes of this, my watch display was frozen for some reason at 11:05 a.m. My phone was off in case of absolute emergencies. I didn't feel any better, and I'm about to lose my mind. Any attempt at calling out was hopeless, and my voice was almost gone. I finally try to relax, having horrible exhaustion, and yell out, hoping my companions hear that I'm resting for a moment and get a classic no response and just sip some water. Now for the weird part. I started getting my backpack on and storing my granola bar and water to get ready for a full sprint ahead, and began hearing rustling from behind. I whip around fast as hell, almost falling on the path slope, and I'm met with my companions, about 10 feet from me, coming around the bend. Confused and paranoid as ever, I start laughing hysterically. They didn't know what the hell was happening and run up to me asking me how the hell I ended up ahead of them. I have no clue. I explain my past hour with something of terror and just stare at my feet about to vomit. I then look back at my friends and their face made me about to retaste my granola bar. They asked again how long I was separated. They're all super puzzled and explain that it hasn't even been more than 10 minutes. They even show me their watches. It shows roughly 10:15 a.m. I slowly peek down at my watch and it reads 11:42 a.m. Owning the Pebble smartwatch, I quickly dismissed it as a malfunction due to my phone being off because of Bluetooth connection, and just urged us all to get the hell out of there. I've read a lot of stories about lost time, especially in forest. I still think my watch is just garbage, and the paranoia flipped me out into dragging time. As for ending up in front of my friends though, I blame the path for being weird somewhere. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed.